What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Fit, Healthy, and most of all, Happy podcast. I'm your coach and host, Josh, here with
his co-host and co-coach, KG, and I'm in the house.
And we're coming at you today with 8 ways to easily lose fat. These 8 tips are big. These are the biggest tips we could think of, and a lot of them might surprise you. There's actually some small ones in here that can lead to massive change. When you're trying to lose fat, oftentimes the little habits that compound and stack on one another to create an incredible transformation. And I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to jump into it with number 1, which is to minimize processed foods. So studies have shown people that ate as much as they want but didn't eat processed food, they minimize it and try to eat really good, whole, hearty, healthy foods, actually were able to eat what they want, and on average they ate 500 plus less calories, which is amazing. You consider this is all different sizes of people, and for them to just be eating whatever they want but to be having 500 calories less, it's an easy way to put yourself at an advantage. It's very hard to stay within your calories if you're eating a ton of fast food, you're eating a ton of chips and desserts and sugary foods. These things are all designed to make you want to eat more, to not be very nourishing and not very satisfying. Whereas when you eat really good, high quality foods, you maximize your vegetables, your fibers, you're going to feel more satiety, you're going to feel more energy, and it's just going to go a long way, and you're going to get more from that nutrient. It's not to say you can never have anything fun, and the way I like to navigate this in my own life is the 80-20 rule. 80% of the foods I eat, you'll hear us talking about this a lot, are really good, whole quality, healthy foods that I know I'm going to build me up. And then 20% here and there, I'll work that in and have fun foods. And some days I'll be 100-0. Some days maybe I will be 70-30. But most often I'm aiming to be at least 80-20, if not better, because I know when I eat good foods, I have more energy, I feel more full, and I'm able to be more satisfied on less calories. If I'm dieting at 3,000 calories and I'm eating 3,000 calories of hot dogs, chips, and pop, I'm not going to be very full. I'm not going to feel very good. My workouts are going to suck. It's not going to go a long way. Whereas if I'm eating lean proteins, if having nuts and legumes, I'm having beans, I'm having lots of vegetables, I'm going to be stuffed to the brim, and I'm going to have a hard time even getting to my calories. I'm still going to see results, and I'm going to have a ton of energy. So you got to look at the data here. You got to choose one, and just making smart and intelligent decisions, limiting wasteful calories like calories from alcohol, calories from sugary drinks, different things like that is just going to put you at such an advantage. And it's not to say you can never have these things, but you do want to reserve them at 20. A lot of people will do 20-80. They'll have 20% of something healthy and then 80% of just garbage. So ask yourself what you're feeding yourself. Is it actively helping you lose more weight, see more change, or is it just something you're getting because it's cheap, it's tasty, and it's quick?
I love that. And I'm just going to jump right into number 2, which is just simply track your calories, be as accurate as you physically can, and know when to make those changes and adjustments. So first off, having the awareness, having the accountability of keeping track of your calories, of being in that calorie deficit, and being as accurate as possible is super important, right? There's so many different things. A lot of people, like Josh was saying, will have the processed food. On top of having the processed food, they'll want more of it, and they'll also be underlogging it, thinking that they're eating less than they actually are. So this is a very big issue. Make these 2 small adjustments and you'll definitely be in a great place. But on top of that, it's also a skill. It's knowing when to make those adjustments, and that's something we obviously specialize in. We've helped well over 3,000 people, but I think a lot of people will start keeping track. They'll use MyFitnessPal. They'll make these changes. They'll log a little bit here and there. They'll do all these like cool little changes, but they don't really know when to make those adjustments based off of how their body's adapting, based off of when their maintenance changes. And once again, that is something we specialize in, but it's very important to keep a lot of different measurement tools in place, such as the photos, the measurements, monitoring energy levels, strength, all that other stuff that we take care of, as well as the consistent weigh-ins, which we'll talk about afterwards. But once again, make these adjustments. If you just eat the same calories for the same next 8 weeks and 10 weeks and whatever it is, without changing a whole lot, you will definitely struggle. So make those adjustments, hire us, take care of us. We will take all the guesswork out of the process, and we'll definitely help you out.
Yeah, dropping calories and seeing change in your physique and losing fat is like an art, because in a perfect world, we'd say, okay, I know my maintenance. I'm just going to lower my calories this amount. I'm going to lose this much a week. Perfect. But when you consider in underlogging, days of going over, being inconsistent, not being in enough of a deficit, hidden calories, it makes it very hard to do. So when you know how to do it intelligently, it can be a great process. But you also need to keep in mind, people will usually go on one side of the spectrum or the other side. So the first being, they'll say, I eat 3,000 calories, so I'm gonna eat 2,800, and the math should be about right to me lose about half a pound, because a pound is like 3,000 calories, something like that. But it doesn't always play out like that, and there's a lot of things to consider. And as I mentioned too, with hidden calories, not logging fully accurately, a lot of time people see that they'll make that change, they'll drop their calories ever so slightly, and they'll see no change in their weight because the body will adapt. It'll just move a little bit less, it'll self-regulate, and it can be a tough process. Then you get someone on the other side of the spectrum who will say, I want to lose weight, I've been eating 3,000 calories, let's go right down to 1,500 calories. I'm going to lose a ton of weight, lose all that fat. But with every push, there is a pull. You do that, your workouts are going to suck, you're going to lose your pump, it's going to be very hard to stay consistent with those calories. You're probably going to be miserable, you're going to be irritable, your friends aren't going to like you. It's not going to go a long way. So you need to know how to drop weight at a great level where you're not going to lose a ton of muscle, where you're still going to have energy, where you're going to feel good and feel yourself in your sessions to see progress. And there is quite a lot that goes into this, and this is something you really have to play with. But once again, we are experts in this field, so if you want to go about it, save time, energy, and just get better results, we're definitely the way to go there. And now into number 3, this is one of my favorites, and that is having staple meals that excite you. So if you're not doing this already, get a static breakfast that you have most often, more than not, maybe Monday through Friday, especially if you are someone who has a certain regimen. Maybe every day you get up, you do a few of your things, and you take your kids out to school. Use that time to craft a really good breakfast, or if you grab something on the way to work, you have a really healthy smoothie. Breakfast is a great time to put control, because most often we are eating breakfast at home. We don't know what's going on for dinner. Maybe we're going out for lunch, but this is an opportunity to get a lot of healthy foods in, to get some good protein, to get something that's going to fill you up and make you feel great. And by just having that staple meal, it goes a long way. I've been personally doing Greek yogurt every morning with granola, protein supplemented granola with blueberries and strawberries, and I've been loving it. I look forward to it every day. I find it's really tasty. Some days where I know I'm having less calories later in the day, I'll go ahead and throw some peanut butter in there, which is absolutely fantastic. We had some light whipped cream in the fridge, which was great. We're in a little bit of a content house here in Florida, so we're trying to make a ton of content, really just do the best we can and make the most out of our time down here. So there's also been a lot of guests coming in and out, and because of that, we've been going out to a lot of dinners. So for us, having those staple meals goes such a long way. We have a freezer stuffed with turkey burgers, so if we ever need, we have really healthy, high protein dinner that we can have on the fly, especially to balance out those nights where we're eating out a lot more. And by having meals that excite you, that are healthy, that are quick to make, that you're comfortable with, that you know are great macros, it makes the process of dieting a lot easier. I find it's a lot harder when you have no idea what you're eating. You're always scrambling and struggling to figure that out. It's also going to make you more miserable. Whereas me, I already have my whole day planned out. It's nice and easy, and it makes the process quite simple.
I love that. Josh and I were actually having a conversation the other day, and we're like, we could literally have this exact same stuff every day for the rest of our life and be so happy. And I think it's a skill that you kind of have to learn to like realize that there's so many different benefits to some of these things, such as like our turkey burgers, our Greek yogurt. It's like, it still tastes solid. You know, it's not going to give you that crazy exciting kick like something new will, but there's so many different benefits to just not have to think about it, to have the same stuff. And I think that goes a long way. But jumping into number 4, just simply having a support network will go such a long way. So this is going to be friends and family on one side of the spectrum, and then also some sort of support from a coach and a professional, essentially someone that's unemotionally attached, that's willing to look you in the eye and say, hey, this is what you need to do, this is how I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm going to get you there. And that's, once again, what we do. This is where we specialize. And where a lot of people struggle is they don't realize before getting into it how emotional of a journey this is. Similar to what we were talking about in calories. Let's say you happen to weigh in, the scale's up 1 pound, whatever happens, you make these crazy changes. You start to do endless cardio, you thrash your calories, you maybe quit. We've all been there. Well, I know a lot of people who have been there where they're so emotionally attached. When you have that support network, once again, your friends and family, they can cheer you on. They can tell you to make these great changes. They can, say, hey, I thought you were dieting, are you sure you want to do this? They can be there for you, and that's going to be phenomenal, but they won't be that person who has studied every single person and help thousands of people like us, and who will actually say, hey, listen, here's what we need to do, right? They're going to support you, but they're not going to call you out. And that's what we're here for. That's what we do. And that's what we specialize in, and of course do for a living, for those of you who don't know. So we want you to send us a message on Instagram. Our Instagram is Colossus Fit, COLOSSUSFIT, with the keyword fat loss. We're looking for 3 awesome people who are looking to drop 15 to 20 pounds of fat and build 10 pounds of quality, high quality lean muscle. We'll take care of you. We'll take the guesswork out of the process, and we will be there for you every step of the way. And we're so excited to work with some of you awesome people.
And what we're so proud of is how custom and effective our coaching is. We have a 98% success rate. We guarantee your results. So you are missing out on nothing by taking a leap and getting a coach and getting someone there on your team to help you get better results faster and more sustainable. So once again, if you haven't taken the time to make an investment in yourself, you got to ask yourself, why not? If you're serious about wanting to achieve your goals and to do it in a healthy, sustainable way where you see more progress, this is for you. Once again, DM us on Instagram saying fat loss, and we look forward to helping transform your life. Now into number 5 is just to get a little bit of help from AI, just having something in the background. That's to get like an Apple Watch or a fitness tracker or whatever it is you like. I know there's a million of them out there, but having something is better than nothing. Being aware of your step, having something that pings you on your arm and it's like, hey, you're lazy as heck today, go walk. Normally you're moving by now. You're like, oh, okay. Like having that is going to work to your benefit. It's going to give you some awareness, and awareness is key. And once again, the AI is programmed to say, hey, stand up, go on a walk, do this, do that. Your friend did this. It can just be more motivating, and it's a small little investment for a good little boost in morale to get you moving more.
Yeah, and even myself, if I look at it, I'm like, man, if this can get me to do an extra couple thousand steps and I'm just keeping track of this stuff, like that's huge. Like a lot of people don't realize how beneficial that is. And just you'll notice a common theme is seeing and having these systems such as the spreadsheets that we utilize, such as, this watch, such as MyFitnessPal. Keeping track of the data is one of the most important things for long-term success. And jumping into number 6, on top of that, having a specific goal. So for the person who says, I just want to be healthier, cool, that's awesome. But then the other side of the spectrum, there's someone who says, I want to lose, those 15 pounds of fat, build 5 to 10 pounds of muscle like you had mentioned, bring my squat up to 315 and run a 5K in under 30 minutes. That's a whole different story. That person has so many specifics. When that struggle comes up and they want to drop, even just maybe they'll want to drop a size of their jeans or whatever the situation is. When those struggles take place, when that weekend comes and other people are going off track, they're going to be like, no, I'm dialed in and I have these specific goals. And I truly believe that's very often what separates the successful from the non-successful is the specific goals, the tangible goals, the realistic goals. We always talk about smart goal setting, and that's something that is very important to consider. And I find that can alone help you stay on track, lose the body fat, build the muscle, and build the body of your dreams and the health of your dreams.
Yeah, it's not enough for me to say, oh, I want to be sexy. I just want to be absolutely beautiful. Like, I think that's a good goal and it's a good aspiration to have. But when push comes to shove and someone's like, hey, I'm buying this delicious sundae for you. Do you want it? And I have no calories. I know it's going to do me no good. That's not in the moment. I'm going to be like, I also want this sundae. I want to be sexy and have a sundae, which you can do if you do 80-20 rule, but that isn't necessarily going to be that driver that really locks me in and helps me get to that end goal. We mentioned before Ed Milet, he went to his doctor and he said, hey, like, do you want to walk your daughter down the aisle? And he said, of course I want to walk my daughter down the aisle. And his doctor said, well, you're not going to. You're going to be dead before then. So for him, fitness, working out, eating healthy is like such a deeper purpose. That is a deep goal. That is something where he can say at the end of the day, no, I got big goals. I got big aspirations. If you have a crazy goal of wanting to hit all these fitness standards, that's a massive goal. If you're in a challenge with another friend, if you have a tangible number, if you have a vacation, whatever it is, if you can get a deep goal and understand why you want to do it, if you want to be around long time to play with your kids, if you want to be strong enough to do that, if you want to be able to do your first half marathon, if you want to enter a powerlifting comp, a bikini comp, whatever it is, have some kind of deep goal, whatever is important and powerful to you, and that will make things a lot easier in my opinion, because when you just have loose goals, that's when you're going to waver on them. You're going to be real wishy-washy. So I just want to add that in there. And number 7 is a simple one, and this is just like little hacks here, and that's not to eat in front of screens. It's all too common to eat in front of screens. I think I got in a pretty bad habit of this. I like watching a funny video on my laptop or something, and it just something extra special about eating in front of a screen, but it does take away from the actual act of eating, and you start shoveling things down, getting a little bit of dopamine from a tasty food, tasty meal. But when you actually take your time time you sit down at a table, you just eat your food, you'll notice you'll eat less. You'll actually pay attention to your hunger signaling. You'll pay more attention to the food. Maybe you're going to have conversation with someone. This is a good time to be locked in, to take a break from screens. Science has shown that people who eat in front of screens eat about 15% more calories than people who don't. And if you consider 15% day after day across several of your meals, that is going to be a big surplus in calories. So that is something you can easily avoid. And if you are going to eat snacks in front of the TV, pre-portion them out, have limits. Don't just grab a big bag of something. Be aware and have a healthier alternative. Another great tip too, if you are a late night snacker and you love it, get low fat or non-fat popcorn. Really high in fiber, high volume, low cal, absolutely delicious. So you just got to be careful with the butter. That's what really drives up the calorie. I also love fruits as like delicious snacks. Other things you can do are eat off of smaller plates. Most often we feel like we got to fill our plate. We got massive plates, massive bowls. Perfect example, Kyle, at this mug, this Airbnb we're at, there's 2 mugs. So we just randomly picked them. I had this random golf mug, which was our keyword. And then Kyle has this like, I don't even know. I think it's a fishing mug. Yeah, something like that. So we got fishing and golf. So living the dream out here. But anyhow, we filled it up every day. We make the coffee. The other day for fun, I poured an entire thing of my coffee in his coffee, and it only filled it halfway. So Kyle's been having like double the coffee every single day, and we didn't even fully know it. He kind of knew it, he said. He didn't want to admit it to himself. But it's just that principle of filling what's there. And if you have a huge plate, you're going to fill what's there. If you're eating on a massive bowl, you're pouring cereal, you're going to eat way more calories. So if you're someone who just wants to stay leaner, you can kind of manipulate this by getting smaller plates. I always get smaller spoons because I know I eat fast. I can shovel food. I've done big bulks. So by me having these little spoons, I find it really slows me down. These are good little tricks you can do. You can also monitor how many times you chew with each bite. These are just small things, but when you consider like they're so small and dinky, but you do this every day, every meal across the rest of your life, by implementing these changes now, these can be massive, massive changes. Like this could be the one change that stops you from getting like heart disease or getting diabetes or something horrible because you're having such a surplus of calories. And that's why it's important you work these things into your life, because it's not just about being really dialed in, eating super healthy, losing a bunch of weight, and then going on back to your normal life and putting it back on. It's about learning how to get fit, stay fit, and do it in a sustainable and healthy way. And that's what we're all about. And that's what makes our coaching different. People always say, what makes you guys so great as coaches? And I always like to say, first and foremost, is that we care. Everything we do is very personal. Like you're actually working with us, or you're working with Jason, Krista, or Armando, our specific team who we've trained up and we have our full trust in. And we really take our time too with our clients to do video check-ins and limited form questions. You get our actual number to message us and ask us questions. It's very one-on-one, where other coaches, even I got an inquiry today where they said they've been with the coach for 6 months, they've never seen their face, they just get 1 email a week and that's it. At the end of the day, I care about my client's success more than I do about my own, and I care about my success a lot. So that should showcase how much I care about my client's success. And if I can be a huge tool to make that happen, I just love having that opportunity to work one-on-one. And if you're someone who wants to see change, and very often if you want to renovate your house, you hire a contractor. And it's just the same with you. If you want to level up your physique and you want to do some renovations on your body, your mindset, and your attitude, this is your opportunity to do it. So once again, we have some spots available, discounted rate. This is your chance. If you want to lose 15 pounds of fat, replace that with 10 new pounds of muscle, absolutely transform your composition, go ahead and DM us saying fat loss on Instagram at ClossFit, COLOSSUSFIT. And I promise you, if you send that message now, you sign up 90 days from now, you're going to be like, this is the best decision I ever made. You're going to be a whole new person. You're not even going to recognize yourself. So I can't wait to help you out. But anyways, I just had to say that. What's the last tip, Kyle?
And number 8, simply weigh in every day. This is going to give you a lot of accountability and a lot of awareness. And studies have actually shown that those who weigh in very randomly, selectively, once a week, once every 2 weeks, or whatever it is, will actually have less success than those who weigh in every day. And that's something that we encourage all of our clients to do. That's why we have a state-of-the-art spreadsheet, which helps you calculate the average. We have all these amazing resources to help you stay on track, to just be simply more aware and also have more accountability. And once again, there's a lot deeper than just the weigh-ins, but on top of that, the progress photos, the measurements, everything else that we do to take care of you, we will always be there to support you within this. And it is, once again, so important to know what's happening within your journey, what's happening with those numbers, how it's changing, so that way we can make those changes for you and help you with your calorie control, your cardio, and all that other great stuff.
Yeah, we have worked over 10 years to make these resources high level as possible. People always ask me how I've gotten to where I am, how my strength, my physique, all these different things. I use these resources day in, day out. I'm in the spreadsheet. I'm tracking my weight in there. I'm tracking my energy levels. I'm tracking my measurements, my photos, my stats. By having this data, analyzing is how we can make sure we're either progressing or regressing. And I love being able to look at all these things and make sure I'm trending in that right direction. And once again, if you're not trending where you want to go, let's change that. Let's do this together. DM fat loss to us on Instagram at ColossUsFit, COLOSSUSFIT. Now, before you go, a final little present. If you've made it to the end of this episode, you're clearly someone who wants to be the best version of yourself, and we have a gift for you. We just created an awesome supplement ebook. You know, we're not crazy on supplements, but we like to say what works and if you should take it based on the value. So we've actually graded some of our favorite supplements, whether you should take it or not. There's no affiliation, no brand here. It's just pure free knowledge. And if you want this, you can just go ahead and message us saying supplement guide to us on Instagram. You can DM us that to @ColossUsFit, COLOSSUSFIT, and we will give you early access to that book just as a thank you for making it to the end of the episode, being awesome. So definitely be sure to take advantage of that. Otherwise, thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.